Good morning. My name is Aubrey Nowitzki, and thank you for joining me on A Dose of Positive. Today's quote is, "A simple hello could lead to a million things." And it is so true. And today we're going to be talking about networking, which is obviously one of my favorite topics. As you can see, I'm very excited. And it's something that I literally could speak about for hours. But this is going to be a networking 101 video for people who are brand new to networking, which I remember when I first attended my first networking events, I was so scared. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a couple tips and tricks that will make it less scary, right? It's actually a lot of fun, okay? And like the quote of the day says, really, I mean, getting to know people, there's so much power in your network, and expanding your network, not only to help yourself, but to help others as well. So here we go. Okay, so we're going to assume that you're going to a networking event for the first time in your life, okay? Or maybe you have gone to a couple, but you really want to do your best, okay? So I highly recommend you take a look at a calendar. I'm so excited. Take a look at a calendar, find some networking events in your area that maybe are your similar demographic or whatever profession it is that you're pursuing or something that you're passionate about. Find some sort of group or meetup and put it on your calendar to go to, okay? So you guys can actually practice these and put it in the comments below and let me know how you do, okay? So first thing, before you go to any sort of networking event and just in life, you want to have some clearly defined goals, okay? So you want to have some objectives for going to this event, especially if it's something that you're paying to attend. You want to put down a quantifiable number, like I want to get 10 contacts, or I want to meet 3 people who do this specific type of work that you're maybe looking to get into, or whatever it may be. Or I want to, I don't know, whatever it could be, okay? But be very specific about where your goals are, because that way you hold yourself accountable when you actually go to the event to not just stick like a fly on the wall and not say hello to anybody, okay? All right, so next thing is when you actually go to the event, I remember the first event that I went to, and I did a phenomenal job. I was still in college, and I went all by myself to this professional event planning networking event with all professionals, and I was so scared, but for some reason going in there, I had this almost fake it till you make it mentality, and I had no reservations or qualms about going up to talk to anybody. I don't know, it was kind of like that Sasha fierceness, just like something came over me, and I was just like, I'm gonna fake it till I make it, because yeah, you need to just have that kind of confidence in the air. And I think a lot of that has to do with positive self-talk, going to the event like, you got this, you're going to meet this many people, and being very clear about what my objectives were, because I did have an objective in going there. The other thing to make you feel a little bit better in going is you need to be prepared when you go. So you can always spot a newbie networker if there's someone there who does not have business cards, some sort of method to exchange contact information. So make sure that you have business cards. And it's really funny that I mentioned that, because that particular event that I went to, I did not have business cards like professional ones made, okay? I actually went to Walmart because I was going to go to this event, and I was like, oh no, I didn't get business cards made. And so I went to Walmart and I got one of those like template ones, and I made my own business, printed my own business cards, which is fine. Fake it till you make it. I did what I had to do, and I came there prepared because I had business cards. And I kid you not, it was like 3 years later, and a girlfriend of mine was doing an internship with someone in Austin, in that same city. She's like, Aubrey, my boss has your business card. And it was from that first event. It was like the paper. Oh, I still remember it. And so that speaks that volumes, because she still had my contact information. I was so nuts. So make sure you bring business cards, okay? The other thing, dress to impress. Find out whatever the dress code is and dress up, look professional. Google online, and maybe I'll do a video in the future about professional attire and what to wear. But something about your own confidence changes when you put yourself in a suit, or you put yourself in a dress, or whatever it may be. So dress up for the occasion. Smiling is so key, okay? Because no one wants to approach someone with a frown, okay? You don't want to approach anybody, and no one wants to approach you. Okay, so just simply smiling, people will know if you're looking around and not talking to anybody. The veterans will know to come up and say hello, but don't rely on them, okay? Initiate conversation. And when you do initiate conversation, your handshake is so important. So practice with some of your friends, okay? But essentially this half I'm gonna go ahead and say half-ass handshake, I will call people out if they give me one of those. A lot of guys, like, I don't know if they feel like we're frail beings and they don't want to give you a proper handshake, but I will call people out because we deserve a full handshake. So essentially these parts should be touching when you do a handshake, and make sure to do it head on, okay? Because there's so much body language that you just don't even realize. But actually, if you shake someone's hand and they tilt your hand up, like on top, that means that you have power over them, versus if they put their hand on top, they have power over you. So as an example, if you go to a car dealership, they'll often put your hand on top to show you that, you know, you have the power and they're here to respect you and whatnot. But there's so much subliminal stuff that goes on. So make sure that you're doing it, you know, head on, and you have good contact. Don't make it too strong and too rigid. There's tons of videos and tips and tricks and whatnot, so take a look at that. But have a solid handshake, and when you have that handshake, make sure you remain eye contact. You know, you looking around or listen to everyone but that person is so disrespectful. So don't do that, okay? Even if it's awkward. I sometimes don't even look at their eyes. I mean, we look at their nose or zoom in on their mouth or something on their face. I mean, don't like zoom in on a zit or imperfection or something like that. But like, so that they know that they've got my attention, which is so important, okay? That leads me to my next topic. Take a genuine interest in people. Do not make this event about yourself, especially if it's your first time, okay? So you want to ask questions and have just a list of 5 questions in your back pocket, not literally, but just in the back of your brain of, you know, whenever the conversation goes a little bit stale and it gets to that awkward moment, you've got a question on reserve that you can ask them. Okay, so typically I like to put people on the spot, and so I often ask, you know, what are your objectives for being here? You know, because some people don't have objectives when they go. Other people who got their game face on, they have clear objectives. And the reason that I like that question is because maybe I can help them or they can help me, okay? And that is really the thought process that you should have going to networking events, is who do you know in your network that could help them, and who do they know that could potentially help you? There's an exchange that goes on there. There's a two-way street, okay? So it can't all be about you, especially like, let's say you're a student and about to graduate. The whole, I'm a student, I'm about to graduate sales pitch, that can come later. First, take interest in that person. Let them know that you're interested in what they have to say. What do you do by profession? Oh, how did you get into that career? Where are you from originally? What, you know, skills and background, what inspired you to pursue that, you know, or whatever it may be. There's so many questions you can ask, okay? And then they can take an interest in you when you get to that point. But first, make it about them. So something that I alluded to is what I like to call an elevator pitch. So people are going to ask you why you're there, you know, or what you do in general, okay? So the whole is, again, another indicator that you're a newbie to the game. So you need to have a 1 to 2 sentence max line of your declaration, your description of, for instance, my name is Aubrey Nowinski. I'm a corporate event planner for an oil and gas company in Houston. Okay. So that's what I do, right? In essence, you know, and if I had one line about what maybe I was there to do, depending on what I'm there for, I'm here to connect with other educators at college and university campuses to expand the Student Event Planners Association to their school, whatever it may be. Okay. So be specific about why you're there, and what you do, because people are going to ask you. Okay. Already mentioned business cards, already mentioned smile. Okay, so, where's my time? Okay, I gotta hurry up. Okay, so let's say you go to this networking event and kind of like going to the public restrooms, you gotta have a buddy that goes with you, okay? That's all right, okay, but here are my rules, okay? Do not form a clique. So don't have that person be your safety blanket. If it's your first time, both of you going to a networking event, don't stick with each other, because you will not get anything out of that event, okay? So either split up when you get there and then regroup when, you know, later, or use each other, leverage each other, okay? So, what I mean by that is, let's say you guys are going to go around and introduce yourself to people. There's certain things that just in modesty, I can't say about myself, but other people could say about me, and things that they can't say about themselves, but I can say about them. So as an example, I could say, or, you know, or someone could say for me, let's say, this is Aubrey Nowinski. She's actually a corporate event planner in Houston. She also owns her own Student Event Planners Association business, and can say like different things to what I call edify. So uplift me, make me, you know, stuff that I wouldn't necessarily say about myself because it may seem a little bit conceited type thing. So make sure that you guys play off of each other and edify each other, okay? I already mentioned having goals. Last, and I'm running out of time, is the follow-up, which is just as important as actually going to the event. You want to be the first person to thank that person and say what a pleasure it was meeting them. So on the back of business cards, I typically write a little note to myself of what maybe we talked about, and I follow it up with some sort of LinkedIn message. Maybe I invite them on LinkedIn or an email, and I thank them and give them, I really enjoyed talking about your son or whatever it was. Here's my contact information. Let's stay in touch. So very, very important that you follow up and you thank people and be the first to do it, because that will really distinguish you from the crowd and make you memorable in their mind. Okay. Another last tip in taking genuine interest in people without sounding obnoxious, repeating some of the things that people say, okay? So as an example, if they say, I'm really interested in video gaming, whatever. Oh, you have an interest in video gaming. That's great. I know someone who X, Y, and Z. That way they know that you were listening to them, like word for word type thing. So it just is another way to show respect to people. So hopefully you guys like these tips and tricks. I could go on again forever. But if you like the video, please like, comment, share, subscribe. And yeah, I look forward to the conversation. Let me know about y'all's first experiences, or if you guys have any particular trips to kind of get over the jitters, sans alcohol at some of these events. And that's also something very important too. If you are a student, as an example, or maybe underage or maybe just of age, try and go without the alcohol. I used to go to events and maybe hold a glass just so people didn't comment about it, but at the same time, if you make some sort of stumble or trip or fall, they will call you out on it, especially if you're young. So just be cognizant of that. Know that you're there to do work. Essentially, you're there for a purpose, and don't make it all about getting inebriated. I think you'll find it more successful. With that, hope you guys have a blessed day and enjoyed spending time with you.